Welcome back, ghouls and gals. Today we're finishing up body horror movie week here, and I actually had an entirely different idea for today. Today I was going to review Existenz, a David Cronenberg classic, and perhaps we can even talk about that in the future, but Alex and I stumbled upon something that fit into this subgenre so beautifully, and it made me so sicked out. So we need to talk about it. Today we're talking about the Skinfection Trilogy. That sounds disgusting, and with very much heavy warning, it is super disgusting. Now this comes from Chris Nash, who is one of my favorite directors, has become one of my favorite directors because he has done In a Violent Nature, but he's also done T is for Thread and Z is for Zygote from the ABCs of Death. Two very disgusting segments, and I just love his direction with body horror and the things he does with special effects. And this is this is so disgusting. This Skinfection Trilogy, this is something that I kind of stumbled across on Letterboxd. I saw someone log it. I immediately was like, Skinfection, I need to watch. So we hunted them down and watched, and I'm going to try and get these up on my Patreon for you guys to watch. I'm not going to put them behind any sort of paywall because they are free on Vimeo, so either you can watch them over on my Patreon or I will leave the Vimeo link for you guys to watch. And usually I like to have some sort of outline for what I'm going to be talking about with you guys. Today I'm flying by the seat of my pants because these three shorts were so incredibly disgusting, we have to talk about it immediately. So if you enjoy, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you'd like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. I love body horror, I love this subgenre, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying talking about it with me this week. So without very much more, let's get right into the Skinfection Trilogy. There are three shorts that we're going to be talking about, and full spoilers ahead because there are some, I'm not going to really dive too much in depth because like I said, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants today, but we're just going to talk generally and freely about these films, these short films. So let's begin with the first one here. And before I get too far ahead of myself, these all came out in 2011. Let's start with the first one called My Main Squeeze, where a young woman who develops an obsession with bubble wrap as a way to cope with childhood trauma discovers the man of her dreams. So this one pretty much ends up in human bubble wrap. I don't know how much I want to dive into like this, but just know that this first segment, it's only 8 minutes long, but it ends with a man who is covered in pussy boils. We're just gonna call it, that's disgusting. We're just gonna call it that. Has found the love that he's been looking for. I will put it lightly. And these pussy boils are just being popped, and schmexumal happenings are happening while there is so much bodily just pus and schmecks. These are truly so disgusting, and I don't want YouTube to block my video. They've been blocking a lot of my shorts lately for gross content. But when I tell you that this short is schmexual human bubble wrap, that's the first short, My Main Squeeze. And the title, I feel like it gives it all away. I thought they all came out in 2011, but number 2 came out in 2009. And this one is called Blackhead. let's start off really quickly. Let me just tell you about this. A young man having intimacy problems with his girlfriend develops an abnormally large blackhead in the center of his back. If you are like me and you like popping things, Dr. Pimple Popper kind of situation, if you're a gross girl, raise your hand, you know? This one made my skin crawl for a couple of reasons. You ever have, honestly, as a human to human, okay, have you ever had a zit so bad? Have you ever just had like a huge zit that is so painful and it hurts and it's full of pressure and it just hurts and it's, anyways, you may possibly fixate on it like me and want to get it out. This short blackhead deals with that kind of situation, but with a blackhead. And it escalates even further when the man who has said blackhead discovers he wants the hole in his back that after his blackhead I'm having a hard time talking about this because this is truly just so gross. After he has the blackhead extracted, he pays a man to, you know, he pays a man to get it on with the hole in his back that was left after a blackhead extraction because his wife wouldn't do it for him. So he paid a man to do it for him. And you know how we say around here, we don't yuck anybody's yum. We certainly do not yuck anybody's yum around here. But I feel like a man-made orifice entering maybe a little bit far. But anyways, I think the final entry in this trilogy is somehow the most tame. This is a liplock. After a subdermal parasite enters his brain, a woman finds her ex-boyfriend paralyzed on top of her during schmex, pinning her to the ground, and then things get worse. This segment feels kind of mean-spirited, I will say, so like be prepared for that. The dialogue is kind of mean-spirited back and forth, but this one, it's pretty much an old couple. It's a couple of people who are rekindling a night together, but the girl is she's having an affair. This is a karma situation, I will just say that. But they go to have coitus. Ew, don't say that ever again. Anyways, they go to do it, and things are happening, but you see this little under the skin parasite thing happening. Guy dies. He just croaks on top of the woman, and things go downhill from there. His nose starts bleeding. He starts vomiting on top of her, and she's pinned underneath him. His body is unrelenting. He cannot let go. His grip is tight. She's stuck underneath this guy who's dead and just leaking bodily fluids. It's pretty horrifying. And I will say it is the most tame, honestly, out of the three of these segments, in my opinion. But as soon as I saw this trilogy of shorts, I immediately was like, the Existence videos out the window were talking about this, because the body horror lovers out there, the fans of In a Violent Nature, the fans of Z for Zygo, the fans of the shorts of Chris Nash, the fans of the work of Chris Nash, you will like these, because if you're looking for body horror that gives you a visceral experience, but you can still tell that everything is prosthetic 100%, these are the shorts for you. These are just gonna give you the right amount of disgusting. If that's the right word, I don't know. These are just really gross, but I feel like you can see where the humble beginnings and roots Chris Nash, where he came from. So on that note, that was a lot. this does not total an hour, like not even close to being an hour long altogether. So like I said, either I will link Patreon or Vimeo down below, whatever is going to be easier for you guys to watch these 3 segments on. I just included like screenshots in the video. I'm gonna need you guys, if you're curious, if you want to be disgusted like me, check these movies out, check these short films out, I should say. Hey, and if you enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links if you'd like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. Really appreciate you guys being here and being a part of my spooky little family. This wraps up Body Horror Week, and I think our next video, I think my schedule is leading us to some Shudder recommendations, but I might switch that out for some Tubi recommendations first. You guys have been really enjoying the Tubi content, so we'll see where we go in the next video. I'll see you then. Sayonara.